Good morning, students. Today we'll be learning a new lesson, and the lesson name is variation. So, this is the let's recall part in your textbook, and this table it shows few numbers that are given here, time and distance covered by a car. Okay, so these are the time in hours, and this is the distance that is covered. So in 2 hours the distance covered is 90 kilometer. In 3 hours the distance covered is 135 kilometer. In 4 hours the distance covered is 180, whereas in 5 hours the distance covered is 225. Now if you see here, the time is going on increasing as well as the distance is also going on increasing. Okay, so when one quantity increases, along with that quantity the second quantity also increases, then that is called as a direct variation. Okay, this was there for you in the last year, so it's kind of a revision. So from the table we see that the distance covered by a car increases with the increase in the time of travel. So the ratios of time to distance are 2 is to 90. Now if you cut 2 is to 90, like 2 upon 90 if you write, and if you cut it, you will get 1 upon 45. Same way 3 upon 135 if you cancel, again you will be getting 1 upon 45. Same 4 upon 180 if you do, if you cancel, 4 ones are, and then 4 fours are 16, 2 remaining, 5s are 20. Again you will get 1 is to 45. Like that in every pair the ratio is the same. Hence, when the time increases, the distance travelled increases in the same proportion. That is what you learned in the last year. Now we'll see this variation much more in detail to write in the symbol format. So for a direct variation, if there are two quantities as x and y, for example just now that we had seen, one will be the time and one will be the distance traveled by the car. So if x and y are two quantities such that x upon y is equal to constant. Constant means it remains the same. So x upon y we had solved, and just now we had seen 2 upon 90 is 1 upon 45. 3 upon 135 is again 1 upon 45. That means what? All those numbers, when you take it in this format, the upper one upon the lower one, that is the numerator upon denominator, when you take it in this format, if you cancel and all, you will be getting the same number for all those numbers. Okay, so in that way there is a direct variation between x and y. What is it said as? X upon y will be directly variable to each other. Okay, that means if x increases, y will also increase. That's why there is direct variation between x and y. Okay, the next point is x, this sign, the sign that you can see, it's sign of variation. Y can be read as x varies directly as y. So how to read this? How to read this symbol? You'll read this as x varies directly as y. X varies directly as y. Okay, and next we move on to is this x that is varying directly as y is written in the form of equation. How to write it in the form of equation? It will be x is equal to ky. So in place of this variable sign, this variation sign, we remove the sign and that sign is substituted by is equal to and a k. Okay, it is substituted by is equal to and a constant k. Okay, it is substituted by is equal to and a constant k. X is equal to ky is the equation of direct variation. Hope so you have understood how to write the direct variation, how to read it, and what is the equation of this x is equal to ky. And another statement that we can write is x is directly proportional to y. So both are same. Even if you say x varies directly as y is same, or x is directly proportional to y. So both varies and proportional, both the words can be used, any one, and you may come across any one which you will have to write it in the symbol form. So that is what is there in the practice set 7.1. You have to write the following statements using the symbol of variation. What is the symbol of variation? This is the symbol of variation. This symbol is called as symbol of variation. So what have they given? Circumference, that is c, of a circle is directly proportional to its radius r. So how will I write the answer? My answer is going to be very simple, that is c directly varies as r. Done. You only have to write this much. I hope so you will be able to write the second sum of this first section on your own. Okay, we'll move on to the second section now. So in this sum they have told that you have to complete the following table, and you have to consider the cost of apples and the number of apples are in direct variation. So we're going to solve the sum of direct variation. They have already mentioned that these two are in direct variation. Okay, they've told it directly. So we are going to use what they have first provided. Okay, you cannot directly start with the sum. First you need to pay attention on these two columns, and then these are the sums that has to be solved. You know where the dash is, those answers are to be found out. So first step is there in which you will be getting the equation of your variations. Okay, the direct variations equation you're going to take. You'll see first what is the equation on that. So first we are going to solve to find the equation of direct variation, and then using that equation we are going to solve these three sums. Okay, so out of these three sums I'll be solving one, the remaining two you will have to solve. Okay, and the formation of equation I'll be showing. So how do we start? First we write what we know, that is x is directly varies to y. This is already given to us. Okay, so you write it like this: x is directly proportional to y, that is given in the question. It's already given. Just read and see the question. It's told that the cost of apples and their numbers are in direct variation. So that's why we took this. They are in direct variation, that is already given. Now we know that when there is a direct variation, when you remove the sign, what is the equation format? You get is equal to ky. We had already learned, remember? So this is written in the form of equation as x is equal to ky. So I will write it like this: x is equal to ky, where what is k? K is a constant. Okay, these are the steps you have to follow. Now we'll go according to the table. So I will write when x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 8. So this is x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 8. So when x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 8, these two I am going to substitute here in my equation. Okay, so I'll write the equation once again. What is our equation? X is equal to k y. I'm going to substitute x and y. So x is 1 and y is 8. Okay, as per this. Okay, so what do we get? We can keep k this side itself. So I'll be getting 1 upon 8 is equal to k. Okay, so k is equal to 1 upon 8. Now this k's value is 1 upon 8, which is the constant, right? This was the constant. So I got k's value. I got the constant's value. We were not knowing the constant's value. Using this, we found out k's value. Okay, and then equation of variation can be written as x is equal to ky. It was right. What is k? Just now we found out k is equal to 1 upon 8. So I can write x is equal to 1 upon 8y. This is your equation of variation. Okay. So in this way you have to find two things here. First you will have to find what is k. You just have to substitute in the formula that you already have and you already know. You need to by heart this and keep, and then inside this formula we are substituting x and y from the table. Okay, x and y. Now if here there would have been some other number, we will have to do cancelling, but now this cannot be reduced anymore. This is the last thing that can be reduced. If there was 2 upon 8, then what we would have done, 2 ones are 2 fours are, then it would become 1 upon 4. Okay, you can reduce if you come across any other number, but no, this is the last final reduction that can be done. So this itself is used as k. So k's value, k I kept it here, 8 it was multiplied here, as it came this side it became divide. So k's value is 1 upon 8. Therefore x is equal to ky. Okay, and x is equal to ky is the normal equation that we have for direct variation. In that we are going to substitute this sum's k value. This sum's k value is 1 upon 8. So this became the equation of variation for this particular sum. So this is only for this sum, this both these, the box marks that I have done, it is only for this sum. Okay, now we'll see how we are going to use them in the sum. Okay, so we'll move on to the first column that we have to solve. So I can write here number 1, because inside the first one, this is the first sum. Always start by writing when. When, why? Because something is provided to you. Now according to this column, this is x, this is y, right? This is x, this is y. So we have y here. We can write when y is equal to 56. Okay, it's very simple. There's nothing much to be done. We will be using the equation of variation. What is the equation of variation? Just now we found out x is equal to 1 upon 8y. Correct? X is equal to 1 upon 8y is the equation. This is the equation of this variation. So in this I am going to substitute my value, that is y is equal to 56. So I can write here x is equal to 1 upon 8 into 56, because I have y. Cancel this. How much do you get? 7. 1 into 7 is 7. So value of x is 7. Okay, you can substitute here the value. Did you understand? So in your second sum, when you do, what will you write? When. Now this time y is not given, x is given. So you write here when x is equal to 12. Again you'll use the same equation that we have, because this is the common equation for this whole sum. You'll write here as it is here. Substitute x. X will get substituted is equal to 1 upon 8 into y. This 8 you will have to bring it this side. So this will be 12 into 8 is equal to y. Solve and write the answer. Okay, multiply and write the answer. That answer you will substitute here. And then third one, again it's like this sum. It's same, y is given, x is not given. So hope so you have understood how to do this sum. Okay, this is the third sum that we are going to solve. The question given here is, if m is directly variable to n, or m varies directly as n, and when m is given as 154 and n is given as 7, find the value of m when n is equal to 14. Okay, all the steps are one and the same. For all the sums you have to do the same steps that I'll be showing right now. Okay, as in the table I had shown, what is the method you have to solve for the table? First you need to start with the solution. You have to find out the k. Okay, you have to find the k. So that is what we are going to do for this sum too. We'll be first finding out k. Okay, so what will I write in solution? So I'll write down solution m varies directly as n, as already told in the question. Okay, it is already told. Therefore, what is the equation? The constant that we'll write is m is equal to kn. Okay, is equal to kn. Now when m's value is given as 154 and n is equal to 7, this is your equation, that is m is equal to kn. I'm going to substitute here. So in place of m will come 154 and in place of n will come 7. Okay, so if I keep k here, the 7 will go below 154. Okay, so what will come? K is equal to 154 upon 7. Okay, upon 7, cancel this. How much you will be getting? 2s are 14, 2s are 14. Therefore k is equal to 22. Okay, now the equation, therefore m is equal to kn. M is equal to kn will actually become what? M is equal to k's value is what? 22, correct? So this 22 I am going to substitute in place of k. 22n. Okay, now what they have told? They have told find the value of m when n is equal to 14. Using this we found out the k. Okay, now using this equation we are going to find out when n is equal to 14. So now n is equal to 14. Therefore m is equal to 22. N, in place of n I am going to substitute 14. What is the value? 308 if you multiply and see. Therefore answer is what? The value of m is 308. Okay, so what do you have to do in this question? First you will use this, make use of m and n, the first condition provided to us, and you are going to find out k. That k you will put it in the equation form. Okay, the constant, using the equation of variation you will put in that equation, and then they have told find the value of m when n is equal to 14 with the same constant. Okay, the constant will remain the same, you just have to change n. So when the n is changed, m's value is 308. Okay, this is your fourth sum. I will not be solving everything for you all, I will be just explaining how to do it. Okay, it is same like your second section. Okay, the second section table was there, it is same like that, just the difference is here there are decimal point numbers. Okay, so you will go around the sum the same way. In the solution, first you are going to write what they have told, n varies directly as m. N varies directly as m. In the question it's written n first and m second they have written. So you will write in the solution also the same way. N varies directly as m. Even though in the table m is up and n is down, still you need to pay attention on the question. In the question what is written first, you will write that letter first only, and what is written second, you will write that letter second only. Okay, so n varies directly as m, it is already given. You write it in the equation form, that is n is equal to km. Okay, so is equal to km, where k is the constant. Now we have these two numbers we are going to substitute them in this equation. So when n is equal to 12 and m is equal to 3, what will happen? You will put it in this equation. So in place of n, I'll be putting 12, and in place of m, I'll be putting 3. So this you will get, k you will keep it here only, 3 you will take below 12. So what will happen? K is equal to 12 upon 3, and this cancel, 3 4s are 12. What is k's value? K's value is 4. That is a constant of variation. Now substitute it in this equation as we did. The first sum also we did the same way, the first section. Then the third sum also we did the same way. Okay. And now you will put it in this equation. What will it become? This equation, n is equal to k, m will become, k's value is 4. So n is equal to, in place of k you will write 4m is the equation of variation. So for this particular variation, this is the equation. Okay, n is equal to 4m. Now this you are going to use, and you will be finding out these three sums. I'll just show this first sum, how it is. So when m is equal to 6.5, you can see here, this is m and this is n. Okay, but we have our n in front and m afterwards, so do not be confused. M is 6.5 and n is dash. Okay, so here we'll write, when m is equal to 6.5, you'll write down the equation. This is your equation, n is equal to 4m. So here it will come, n is equal to 4 into, in place of m you will write 6.5, multiply, n's value is 26. In this way you will have to do the second and the third sum. Okay, this is your fifth sum. So in the question, children, it is given that y varies directly as square root of x. What do you mean by y varies directly as? Till now, children, you all were coming across a very direct question. There were just two letters. This time there is square root in between. Okay, so you need to pay attention on the question, how it is written. Y varies directly as square root of x. When x is equal to 16 and y is equal to 24, you have to find the constant of variation and equation of variation. You do not have to find out anything else, okay? You just have to find out the constant of variation. You know what is the constant of variation? The constant of variation is what? K. And equation of variation, you all know how to write the equation of variation by removing the variable sign. So when you remove the variable sign, there you will be substituting the k, and that equation will become equation of variation. Okay, so this y varies directly as square root of x. So in the solution, what will I be writing? I'll write that y varies directly as square root of x. Did you understand? This is what is meant by here. Y varies directly as square root of x. So y varies directly as square root of x. Okay. Now if this is what is given to us, what will be the constant? How will you write the constant? That is y is equal to k into root over x, right? That's how we write. Yes, when you have x and y also, you write it in that way itself, right? Is equal to n k, and along with that. So I removed this variable sign and I replaced it with is equal to k. So this here, k is the constant. Okay, now you have to find the value of the constant of variation, that is, you have to find the value of k, and you have to find the equation of variation. So this equation also you'll have to complete. Now we will take, therefore, when x is equal to 16 and y is equal to 24, we are going to substitute x and y in this equation. Okay, x and y in this equation will be substituting. So in place of y, you have 24 is equal to k, and in place of x, you have what? X value is 16. So in place of y, you will get 24, and in place of x, you will get 16. Okay. Now, what is the square root of 16? The square root of 16 is 4. k into 4. 16 square root, I removed it out and it became 4. I'll keep k here only. So what will become? 24 upon 4 is equal to k. Cancel this. 4 6 are 24. So you got the constant of variation, that is k is equal to 6. This is what the first one they have asked. That is, you have to find the constant of variation. So the constant of variation is k is equal to 6. And finally they have asked, therefore you have to substitute in this equation, because you need equation of variation also. So in the equation you will only substitute the k. So my equation will become y is equal to 6 root over x. This is your equation of variation. Okay. And the sum ends over here only. You do not have to solve anything else because they haven't given any values and all to be solved. And this was the constant of variation. Okay. Hope so you all have understood. Now the last sum, it is to be done in this way. Now if you see, the total remuneration paid to laborers employed to harvest soya bean is in direct variation with the number of laborers. So there are two things. Here they haven't given the letters. So letters you will have to take. Okay, you will have to take the letters on your own and then you will have to solve. Okay, so what letters will you take? The total remuneration. Remuneration is kind of a payment only done to the laborers. Okay, so for the number of hours they are working, how much money they are paid. So that will only come as the total remuneration. So here we are going to take, let the remuneration be R. Okay, the remuneration we are taking as R and the number of laborers we are taking as N, number of laborers. So what they have told, remuneration is in direct variation with number. Remuneration is in direct variation with number. Therefore, we have written here remuneration is in direct variation with number. So, R directly varies as N. R is remuneration and N is number of laborers. Okay. Therefore, R is equal to the same way as we write the equation, that is Kn. Okay. Now, R is given as remuneration of 4 laborers. So, remuneration is the rupees. Okay. Do not get confused. Do not write 4 as remuneration. Remuneration is the money. Okay. Remuneration is always the money and this 4 is number of laborers. So, remuneration is 1000 and number of laborers N is 4. We are going to substitute in this equation. So, when you substitute in R is equal to Kn, what will happen? In place of R you will get 1000 is equal to K into, in place of N you will write 4. Cross multiply, K is equal to how much you get? 1000 upon 4. You cancel K's value, you will get as 250. So, K is equal to 250 is the constant of variation. Now, they have told to find the remuneration of 17 laborers. So, only N will be changing. Okay, N will be changing automatically, R will also change, but because it is of the same sum, your K will not be changing. So, this is what the equation of variation will be using. R is equal to Kn, right? R is equal to Kn, Kn. In place of K, I am substituting the K's value, that is 250N. So, R is equal to 250N. Now, when there are 17 laborers, N is equal to 17. So, in place of N, you will substitute 17. What will you get? R is equal to 250 into 17. Therefore, R is equal to 4250. The remuneration of 17 laborers is rupees 4250. I'll just repeat it once again. So, the total remuneration paid to laborers is the amount. It should be in rupees, okay? And the number of laborers is taken as N. R is in direct variation with N. So R you will write first, N you will write afterwards, and then you will write it in the equation format, that is R is equal to Kn, and then you will take N is equal to 4 and R is equal to 1000. Using this you will find out K, and then once you get K, you will put that K in this equation, and then using this 17 you will find out the rupees, that is the remuneration of 17 laborers. In this way you have to solve the sums, and the sums that you have to do on your own are only of the second section tables, second and third one, and the fourth section tables, second and third one. Remaining all the sums I have already shown you all. So hope so you all will be able to do it.